coming. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Witchfinger Horror Podcast. How's everybody doing today at Frightmare in the Falls? What's up? We're just gonna have some.
Gotta load up.
Well, this is like the full Witchfinger experience, right? Where we're drinking and talking
watching.
a lot of shit. So
Yeah.
are children.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone, for coming. Thanks for everyone who
Can
like
you tip my glass
traveled.
for me?
Do you want me to pour your beverage for you?
Yeah, could you do that?
Okay, I can do that for you.
I just only have one hand.
Oh, that's right. Because we usually, when we record in our living room, like we have our mics like set up on the table like this. But Megan has the luxury of having a wireless mic, so you can Lady Gaga it up.
I know.
girl.
She's gonna Christina Aguilera that mic all night, just like with her fingers.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be
Excellent.
amazing.
So,
Thank you.
unfortunately, we only have the room for an hour. So we're watching Dead Alive. And so we started the movie kind of halfway through because obviously it's really important to watch the last half of this movie. So who, I'm assuming in this room, has seen Dead Alive?
Hands.
Like, okay, so
Yeah.
who hasn't seen it? Oh my
This
goodness.
is an important day
well,
in your
this
life.
is very important.
It's a
I
big
guarantee
day.
you are never going to forget this. So yeah, let's just get started with some introductions.
I
You wanna
also
hold my
just
hand?
want to remind. I
Let's-
just
what
want
are
to
the
remind
hands?
everyone
This is a special moment.
that fan interaction is encouraged. Yell, scream, laugh, shout, questions,
Fart,
fart, burp.
Oh, burps are very encouraging.
Yeah.
If you have
Yeah.
beer in your bags, like if you just so happen to bring it, like crack it open. Let
Yeah,
it go.
no. We should probably, earlier before we started, we drank some beers in the car before we got here. And then
That's just
I
how
was
we
like,
roll.
well, we should get some cups, I guess. And then we're like, fuck it. Like, our beers are just
I don't
like
see the
flat
police
on the
anywhere.
table.
Do you?
Yeah, that's true. Awesome,
right.
great. Okay, well, my name is Yasmina. To my right is Morgan.
Hello.
To my left is Megan.
Yellow.
And we are Witchfinger Horror Podcast. Thank you so much for coming. So yeah, let's start off with some facts here. So Dead Alive came out in 1992, directed by Peter Jackson.
If you can believe it, everybody
you
knows
all
Peter
seen
Jackson.
Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. So this
You know
is
those movies, Lord of the Rings?
I think that's what they're called.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
Yeah.
Frings.
Frings.
Like that's like French fry rings, right?
Yeah, Lord of the Funyuns.
No. Funyuns.
Yes, directed, written by Peter Jackson, and also written by Fran Walsh, his girlfriend, and Steven Sinclair. And Steven Sinclair also wrote The Two Towers. So I'm going to be like nerding out about Lord of the Rings. Sorry.
No, honestly, it's great. I mean, to me, it honestly blows my mind that Peter Jackson started doing movies like this, and he somehow managed to convince a large production company to give him so much money to make the Lord of the Rings, and it turned out amazing. Like it won like 7 Academy Awards.
Oh, dude, they're
Yeah.
like they're
Yeah.
honestly like the best movies. Like they made more money than Star Wars.
which is unbelievable.
Like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But yeah, like he had, I guess, humble beginnings. You know, he made some. This is not his first movie, but some of his earlier movies, earlier than this, are even more absurd. Like Bad Taste. Has anyone seen Bad Taste? Any of you guys? Yeah, a few people.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure.
Like what happened in that movie?
What? It's like I was like doing some research on Bad Taste because I had to, even though we just watched it like last weekend.
I still had to read about it.
I know, like I
because-
still had to read about it and be like, what the fuck is this movie about? Like, have you seen it, Megan?
Yeah.
Like how long ago? Sober?
Not sober. Mushrooms.
Oh, well, that's a great way to watch Bad Taste.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Yeah, it was
I
awful.
admire you.
It was
Yeah,
awful.
and like so there's, I guess they're aliens, and do they eat people?
Okay,
They're
they
like drinking-
eat.
they're
It's
like
like
drinking that
people
green
are
slime.
their fast food. The budget for Bad Taste was 30,000, and it made 150,000 at the box
Which is
office.
pretty
And
good, I'd
the
say.
movie is about this like. It's about a company called the Astro Investigation and Defense Service, AIDS. That's what it stands
What?
for.
No. No.
I'm not making this. Lord of the Rings. Anyways, and the aliens, I don't know. The aliens like come to Earth. I guess like it's kind of like Troll 2.
you
in
know
a
what?
way.
That actually, it gave me that vibe, especially even just the green stuff that they're drinking.
Yeah.
Like the one scene where the witch lady, I don't know, she's got like 5 or 6 different names or whatever, and she makes them drink everybody, like the green stuff, and it turns you into the plants in Troll 2.
And like Troll 2 is basically like goblins turning humans into plants to eat them, but Bad Taste is like aliens who are like harvesting the humans for food.
And I always wondered, like, is Bad Taste because we're disgusting?
Probably. Maybe.
Is it
humans
in
are
bad
pretty
taste
disgusting.
to eat humans?
Yeah, maybe.
Or
I
is
don't
the movie
know.
just in bad taste?
Yeah.
Oh. Smart.
You're so meta.
SMRT.
I know.
I always wondered, so I was watching this movie last night with someone who was like, this movie is so low budget. Like, and I was like, in fact, it's not. The budget was massive for this movie.
Yeah.
Like, comparatively, right? Like, when you look at it, you're like, oh, yeah, this is probably a B movie. He had millions of dollars to play with.
Yeah, he had
3
already
million.
graduated
Yeah,
up
millions.
to like millions of dollars. Most of that, I would say, probably went on the amount of blood that they.
This is
used in
the
this movie.
bloodiest movie. For anyone here who has never seen Dead Alive, this is actually the bloodiest movie of all time.
They didn't have any big names to pay for, no Brad Pitts to pay for. You know what I mean? The money went all
On blood.
on blood. And what
Which is
movie?
very impressive.
What movie have you seen where they're under budget? This film came under budget, and so he reinvested
money
the
on blood.
and so he just reinvested the money on blood, and it's just hilarious that this was like a multi-million-dollar film, and look at it, it's amazing.
I know. So we're at the part in the graveyard, and where Vera, the mom, comes out of her grave, and the guy that she grabs, this like rockabilly guy, this fucking guy is in Lord of the Rings, and he's one of the hobbits. That dude is like one of the hobbits.
Wait
Like
a
I find that so
second.
funny. His name is Jed Brophy.
Which
I think-
Hobbit? What Hobbit?
He's Nori. He plays Nori, the one that has like his beard is in a ponytail, and his beard is like in 3 ponytails, and he's got like ponytails like out of his ears. That's fucking this guy. And he's also actually a very pivotal character in Fellowship of the Ring. He's the guy who takes fucking Sauron's ring from him and refuses to throw it in the fire and decides to keep it. And then that's that dude.
Who just
Like,
lost
I
his
didn't know
wiener.
that, and I've seen what? Who just lost his wiener?
just lost his
Speaking of wieners, there's like dicks for sale here at Frightmare. our friend bought dick magnets. I can't remember the name of the booth, but if you walk around, there's like they just got 2 dick magnets for $5. That is
Good
a
price.
good
That's a deal.
That's a good dick deal. I forgot what I was talking about. Dicks just entered my brain, and then I lost track of what I was
You were
talking about.
with
The Hobbit.
This guy, yeah.
Right.
But he just got his anyways,
Yeah, it's just like, and he also plays one of the orcs in Return of the King.
I'm sorry, but we're kicking ass for the Lord
Oh,
right
we
now.
are! Yes,
We're kicking
this
ass
part
for
is
the
so
Lord.
fucking good. Father MacGruber is kicking ass for the Lord. Look at all those kicks. He's like Sub-Zero.
Oh my God.
Oh, and like one of
my
the
God.
best scenes and one of the most memorable lines of the movie as well. I kick ass for the Lord.
Well, so this guy, Father MacGruber, it sounds really like McBain. MacGruber. Excuse me.
Wait, wasn't there a movie that was like a MacGyver ripoff that was called?
Yeah, MacGruber was like a Saturday Night Live
yeah.
character.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they
yeah.
made it into a movie. Yeah.
Excuse me. For anyone who has never listened to our podcast, you'll hear a lot of that. But so this guy who plays Father MacGruber, his name is Stuart Devine, the Kung Fu priest.
Oh my God.
Like fucking, I still like can't get over this like Lord of the Rings. Anyways, he's actually a drama teacher in New Zealand.
Really?
And he founded a theater company in 2000, and he was also in that show, that Jack of All Trades. Did you ever watch that with Bruce Campbell?
Oh my God.
Do you remember that show?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That show was actually
yeah.
like pretty good. It's like kind of like a Xena spin-off or something, right?
I don't.
I'm pretty sure it's a Xena spin-off. But he has a part in, Megan might be able to talk more about this movie, but The Frighteners.
Oh my god, I just rewatched that.
I'm
just
sorry.
rewatched it. It's so good.
I'm
It's
sorry, I've
so
never seen
good.
the entire movie.
I haven't seen it either.
Good.
It's okay. Megan, please.
I mean, it's a
tell us.
90s. It's a 90s, like the dawn of the CGI ghost film, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like kind of funny and like really upsetting. And Michael J. Fox is in it.
Oh, I love
and
him.
he's super great.
He's precious.
Yeah. And so there's like a super evil ghost, but then there's like really nice ghosts, right? So it's
Yeah.
And Jeffrey Combs.
yes, he is.
Jeffrey
Yes,
Combs
he
is one of
in
the
it.
ghosts.
Yeah.
And Peter Jackson has a cameo in it, and he's like the guy with all the piercings on his face.
Oh my god, I missed
What?
that. I
I
wish I had known it
he's
was
like,
him.
He
Oh,
plays this like
man.
punk rocker, and he's just like, yeah, get out of my way, or something like that. I don't know. He's got a bunch of piercings in his face, so I do remember that.
That's funny.
I
You know what I love about Peter Jackson is
don't.
that it seems like. Oh, sorry.
don't remember
Please
that.
elaborate.
I know.
Is that like it seems like because he started from such humble beginnings, he continues to use the same people over and over again,
Yeah.
like from his early movies. And he sort of brought them all to success through his own success, which I think is really awesome. Like all these
Yeah.
actors that were in these ridiculous movies that he was in, like Fran Walsh, who is his partner, like started working with him before this movie. A lot of his writing partners and people that he's done with like special effects and stuff, he brought them to like the Lord of the Rings, and everybody's like just basking in that glory.
Yeah.
I really like that.
I
It's like
actually-
he
I think
hasn't
I
forgotten about his
read-
friends.
Yeah, I think I read that like a third of the population of New Zealand are in the Lord of the Rings movies or something like that.
A third of the
He just put like
population?
anyone who wanted to like show up and be an extra could just be in the movie.
Well,
That's wild.
this one was also filmed in Wellington,
Mm-hmm.
which is his birthplace, and so he seems to have this theme of including his culture and his
Yeah.
his home into his films, which
And,
is really awesome.
Was it Bad Taste that's filmed there?
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah, there's
I'm
a
pretty
ton.
sure there's a scene where he fights himself on a cliff. Doesn't he? Like he
He's
holds
outrageous.
himself like
Yeah.
he's like dangling himself, like over a cliff or something. And fuck, man, that movie.
I love him.
I don't know. I don't know about that movie. I don't know. After we watched it, we were like, what happened?
It was like that was a movie.
Yeah, that was a movie. Well, there's some interesting, so this movie is, it's also known as Brain Dead everywhere else but North America, because there was already a movie in North America called Brain Dead with
yes, there was.
Morgan's fucking boyfriend, Bill Paxton.
Oh yes.
And Bill
Bill Pullman is in it.
Pullman and Bill
George
Paxton.
Kennedy.
And George Kennedy, one of our other podcast boyfriends. And
man.
that is another movie that I'm not really sure what's going on in.
Yeah, I own it, but I've only watched it once.
I've watched it a couple times, and I'm like, so was it all a dream? I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like a psychological kind of horror movie.
Yeah.
About I guess like a brain experiment or whatever. But I think it's probably worth another watch.
Would you put it in the realm of like Lawnmower Man?
This makes me think of like terrible CGI. That's the worst
That's a bad
CGI
movie.
I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Yeah, that's a bad
Like
movie.
it's worse than Hackers.
You know what? But it's like a cerebral.
Yeah, it's like
whatever.
that.
You know
like,
what I mean?
like
Remember the second one?
In the Mouth of Madness or something like that, where it's like you don't know if it's real. Is it real? Is it
Yeah.
not?
Right,
Is
right.
it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's
it is
pretty
kinda like
heavy
that.
for the 80s, actually.
For sure.
I'd have to say.
Yeah, but it's that one is like I think Roger Corman and his wife I think were involved in that
cool.
one. So it's kind of got that kind of silly kind of vibe to it, but it is a
Yeah.
really good movie.
Yeah. Well, and then there's another Brain
right.
Dead.
Fuck holding that shit.
Oh my God! That's awesome. Megan's like, fuck this. I'm not holding this
My
microphone.
hands are tired.
There's another movie called Brain Dead that came out in 2007, directed by Kevin S. Tenney, who is the guy that directed Night of the Demons and Witchboard. I've never seen it. Is it good? Are you just clapping because...
Oh,
Oh, okay. Well, yes, definitely clap for Kevin because I've never seen this movie and it's 2007, so I don't know.
But Witch Trap. He did that.
Oh yes, we watched that fantastic movie, Witch Trap.
Witch Trap is not a sequel.
I know it says it at the beginning
Not
of
a
the
sequel
credits,
to
like
Witchboard.
yeah. And there's also a TV show called Brain Dead that came out in 2016, and it's about like alien bugs eating brains of members of Congress and take some control of their mind. So basically, like real life. And there's also an X-Files episode that's called Dead Alive, and
weird.
it's in season 8 after Mulder leaves, and because spoiler alert, Mulder gets like abducted by aliens. That's why Fox like left. And
What?
well, he's presumed dead. But remember when David Duchovny left the show, and then
No, I
Robert
mother
Patrick.
friggin' don't.
Really?
Then
You don't
T1000
remember?
came.
Okay, well,
How I'm sorry. So off topic. How did they finish the X-Files?
Robert Patrick replaced him.
Robert Patrick.
Our boyfriend T1000.
Holy fuck.
He can T1000 me any day.
Cutest ear. Oh my god.
Yeah, but anyways, it was like when Robert Patrick took over Fox Mulder, and but there's an episode called Dead Alive in season 8 where they bring Mulder back, and Mulder's like a zombie.
What?
I don't know. I stopped watching.
I was gonna
after
say I stopped
Mulder
watching
left.
after.
Do you guys
that
remember
as well.
Red Shoe Diaries?
Yes.
Anyone with David Duchovny?
We got one
Do you
hand.
know?
You perv.
That's funny. Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Late night?
Yeah, so Dead Alive has an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty fantastic for a movie of this caliber. And there's a lot of similar locations that he used for Lord of the Rings as well, and King Kong. I don't really remember the King Kong movie.
I saw it when it came out, but I feel like I'm kind of getting the new one mixed up with the older one in my head.
It was really, really good. I don't like the lead lady, Naomi Watts. I
Oh,
believe.
yeah, okay, yeah, no, I remember
I'm
it
not
had
a
her in it,
fan
yeah.
of her, so I didn't love that. I believe she played.
Yes.
If my memory serves me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but other than my personal, okay, I gotta get real. Okay. Other than like my personal like opinion of her, it was a great movie.
I love how Megan looks like a
can't look
gremlin
like
right
this.
now. I know. It's okay. We probably only have like 40 minutes left. They're gonna have to,
fine.
like kick us out. Speaking of gremlin, Zach Galligan is here. Did you guys see him? Hell to the yes. I'm probably gonna have to go. Also, we have our photo op booked for Tom Atkins after this show. So if you want to come talk to us, definitely, like, we have to rush out of this room to go get our photo taken with Tom Atkins.
have to
But
go
come
meet him.
approach us. Like, we're on the floor, we're walking around. So come meet us like afterwards. But after this show, we have to like pack our shit and immediately go like make out with Tom Atkins. I mean, me. Tom Atkins and Zach Galligan. Anyways, well, Dead Alive was actually intended to be a short film for television, and but then it received Japanese investment, and then it became a full length.
So this scene actually is. Remember how I said that they had money left over at the end of the film?
Oh,
they
yeah, in the
reinvested the money into this scene, which is like the funniest fucking scene of any movie.
I agree. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is Peter Jackson's favorite part of the movie.
Yeah. And
The part at the park. with
It's
the baby.
clearly like a full-grown human who's dressed up as
In
the
a
baby.
weird ass fucking baby suit.
I just love all the moms, how they're looking at him while he's bashing the baby's head against the pole, and they're kind of like, "Oh, that doesn't look right." Like,
It's like, oh, and then it's like,
There's barbed wire in the fucking. That's hilarious. Well, earlier we watched a scene where they're in the graveyard, and there was actually a lawsuit that happened after this movie because of the privacy of the plaintiffs showing the family's tombstones
I get that.
in the shots.
I get that.
So the family members were like, "You didn't ask permission to show my family's names." And
this
so
fucking
they
kid.
actually like sued them, and because the baby that's just like being kicked around, I fucking hate this baby. Like, I love this movie actually, but I just want them to kill this baby so badly.
it's such a shit disturber.
Yeah, and it's like the way that it laughs. It's like, like
And
shut up.
we were saying for like those of 80 babies out there, 80s babies out there, does he not remind you of a Cabbage Pail Kid?
Yeah, or a
Garbage pail,
Yeah.
cabbage pail. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Do you remember? Did you ever watch the Garbage Pail Kids movie?
That's what I mean. Like, this whole thing reminds me of.
That movie is fun.
So look, he's back. Look at these women. Are like, oh dear, oh my.
I like how the bum is cheering them on.
Yeah, he's like, this is fantastic.
all the mothers are like horrified, and the bum's like, yeah, cue that baby.
Not horrified enough to say anything, mind you.
It's so slapstick, though. It's just like
Yeah.
unbelievable.
And again, this is where someone who doesn't know about the movie could look at it and say, are you sure they had $3 million to play with?
Yeah, right. Well, I guess $3 million in the 80s was a lot.
A heck of a lot.
That is a lot of movie.
That's
That's a lot of movie.
What? It's like day drinking is a different kind of drunk, right?
It is. Like usually when we do this, we get together sort of in the evening. We usually like Yasmina makes us dinner and we like drink a little bit and then we start.
We're fancy for a whole like hour and then we get
and then we start recording. And we're like, is this a movie that we really like? It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome. I think the movie was majorly cut in Germany, and the uncut version was banned in Germany, which I find strange because isn't like Germany fucked up? I mean, like, isn't that like they love fucked up shit, don't they?
I would say there's some pretty fucked up stuff.
I'm surprised that it's
Germany.
like that the
One
uncut
priest, one
version
nun
is
came
banned
from
there.
Germany.
What's that?
One priest, one nun.
Is that like Two Girls, One
Oh,
Cup?
yeah.
I don't
Anybody
even know what
remember
that
that?
is.
Yeah. This guy that remembers Red Shoe Diaries remembers.
Yeah. Anyways, you could look it up. It's pretty fucked up.
Or don't go on the dark web.
No. The dark web. It's too dark. It's so dark.
But I do agree with you, Yasmina. Like, what was there? Why would you say that this movie needs to be banned? They banned it. Is that what you said?
Yeah. In Germany.
It's clearly a joke movie. Like, it's clearly a joke movie.
I know. I mean, like, I can understand why a
It's
country
not
might ban like
scary.
necromantics.
Yeah.
But this is like, come on, it's very slapstick.
You know what? Ban Serbian film all you want.
Yeah.
Now, where's my friends who know Serbian film?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I actually enjoy that movie a lot.
interesting. So, like, I get that. It's just this is so silly and funny and quirky, and I don't
I
get
wonder
it.
if it's still banned. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, back then though, it seems like there was a lot more of that type of thing going on, like banning of violence in movies. Well, in America especially.
But this
in
is
Germany would be
But it
more
was
and
in the
more-
80s. This movie was 93,
I guess,
wasn't it?
yeah.
92.
92.
Like, come on. Wasn't that when Bill Clinton was wasn't that
when he was
what wasn't
You
that
can-
wasn't
you can
that the
assume-
time?
It was the time.
Wasn't
yeah.
that around the time
You'd
that
think he'd be a little more lenient. Oh yeah. Right?
anything goes in 92?
Yeah. Peter has stated that many of the special effects and gore were influenced by Tom Savini's work. And Tom Savini's here at Frightmare, and we've met him before. Megan loves
he looks
him.
great. He looks great.
He bought a skull from Megan once. That was pretty cool.
It was not for sale. It was not.
It has to be reiterated that it wasn't for
It
sale.
wasn't for sale. I said
know.
you may have it.
Please,
Yeah.
Megan, tell the story, please.
I said, all right, well, I wasn't there that day. And so my skull, which was gifted to me from an ex boyfriend, and it was this replica of a Viking skull that they found and replicated and whatever. And it had all sorts of wounds on top of it and stuff. And it was sitting on the table, and he said, can I buy that? And they were like, well, Megan's not here, but she will be. And they told me that, and I was like,
She'll also suck your dick.
and I don't remember if I took his money. I don't think so. I think I basically, I don't, that's a, it
I
was
don't
all-
remember.
I don't remember an exchange.
You know, you
of
have
money.
these moments in your life where
I know.
they should be pivotal moments that you remember every detail, but when you get so excited, it's almost like your brain fogs the details
Yeah.
out. And it's
Well,
such a fucking shame.
I definitely remember the look on your face.
like, what was he wearing? I don't know. I wish I did.
I think he was wearing a black T-shirt.
He was probably wearing all black.
Yeah.
And-
I definitely
and
remember
leather
you were like in
pants.
awe. Like you were like, you just didn't know how to react. I was like, oh my God, I've never seen Megan like this before.
I have such a big, stupid mouth. I know. It was weird.
It was awesome though because like he was just walking around freely, just like checking out all the booths. And at that time, we were at the London Comic Con in the horror section. So our booth was just like a little bit a ways from him, and he just come down, walking around, and he was like, "Hey, I like that skull."
Well, we should go talk to him after this.
Okay. Is this anybody's first con, by the way?
Oh.
Wait a second, my grown-up friends. Okay. That's really sweet. I hope your first experience is good. Are you having fun? I'm so happy
That's
for you.
awesome.
Ooh, I'm so
Excellent.
happy for you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah. So the gore and the special effects in Dead Alive were done by Bob McCarran. He was on that show, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. It was big in, I think it's actually
is
still
he
on.
a celebrity
Well, he's the guy in
I
that.
don't know who he.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
this is a
that's
show. It's kind of like that, like when they put celebrities like in the jungle and like let them try to survive. And he's on both the UK and the German version of the show called Ich bin in Star Halt mich Ross. And he plays the he's responsible. He's like the medic guy, but he's not really a doctor, but he handles like the snakes and spiders and shit on the show.
So he's like the creepy wrangler guy. That,
Yeah.
like, he wrangles all the spooky animals.
Yeah,
those are
in
the
the Amazon
spookiest
and
animals.
shit. Like
I
in the
literally
jungle.
have no idea what you guys are talking about.
This show, it's like the guy who does the
Is it
special
scripted?
effects.
Is it scripted?
No, it's like one of those reality shows where they put celebrities
So
in the
it's not
jungle and be
scripted.
like, "Here, try to
They
survive."
put them in the jungle and then they let Predator loose, and then it's like
I know.
the best fucking show ever.
I know that would be amazing.
That would be
Actually,
actually-
Was Paris
like
Hilton
the Running
on that
Man,
show?
but with Predator.
Yeah.
Who?
Paris Hilton? Like, did they have celebrities who were hilarious
Well,
in the
it's
jungle?
in England, so it's
Oh.
like British celebrities.
Oh.
So
But,
not
um,
real celebrities.
Yeah, not real celebrities. But he also did a lot of special effects on like big movies. Like, okay, I just want to reiterate: the guy who did the special effects for Dead Alive also did special effects on The Matrix,
What?
Frig, I love that movie.
Queen of the Damned, and he designed the boar in Razorback.
Oh,
I still haven't
cool.
seen
That's
Razorback,
cool.
but it's been on my list of movies to watch.
That I saw a little bit of it, and that movie looks scary.
It's an Australian
yeah, it's an
movie,
Australian
right?
movie. Yeah, it's terrifying.
I used to mix Razorback with Rawhead Rex a lot.
Yeah, get those
But
confused.
Rawhead Rex is an Irish movie.
I think so.
Yeah.
So this, for those of you who put your hand up who haven't seen it, this is kind of where shit all goes downhill, and we're just on the cusp
Yes.
of the
Yeah,
madness.
you're right.
Just
It's
on the
about to
cusp.
get good.
It's about to get so good.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I know, what were you saying earlier about there was a spin-off, like a Xena spin-off or something, right?
Jack of all trades with Bruce Campbell.
So this fellow,
Timothy Balm.
the lead, yeah,
Balm.
he was in.
He's a babe.
No,
You think so? Oh my god.
Okay, when I was a kid, I had a crush on him and Crispin Glover from Back to the Future.
Yeah, but they kind of look the same.
They do look the
Yasmina
same.
has a type.
I
If
swear
you
to
listen
God.
to the
I
podcast,
Lionel is hot, okay?
Lionel. So Timothy Baum, he was in. Who remembers the Kevin Sorbo Hercules show?
Oh my God, yes.
Right. So he was in. There was a made-for-TV movie that came from that show called Hercules in the Underworld,
okay.
and so he was in
Oh.
that.
Oh.
He didn't star in it, but he was in it in 1994. So shortly after this, he was hanging out with Kevin Sorbo, which is fucking cool.
I saw Kevin Sorbo at Fan Expo, and he looks orange as fuck.
Orange.
Yeah. Very orange.
Oh no.
Like too orange.
Oh no.
Like,
That's too bad.
Like inhumanely orange.
Inhumanely, like he's torturing. What are you?
I think he's a lizard. He might be a lizard.
He's not a loser.
did you say a lizard?
Oh, he's a lizard person.
I thought you said a wizard or a lizard.
He's definitely not cool enough to be a wizard, but he could be
not
a
a
lizard.
loser.
He's a lizard person.
Oh God.
Oh my god. Oh,
I
man.
actually, but Timothy Baum, the guy who plays Lionel, this is his first movie. And he's a screenwriter now. And he's done a lot of like short films and soap operas. But yeah, he's actually just a screenwriter and writes movies and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like if I were to star in my first film, a slapstick would be the only
Yep.
thing I could do
I
because you don't know
agree.
how the F to act in your first film. You don't. No one does.
And you just have fun with a slapstick,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
he-
it's not
he did a good
serious at
job.
all. Like you're
Yeah.
just like you're fucking like chopping up a baby in a like food processor.
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You meant real
right.
life?
Yeah. Sorry. No, that's true.
Yeah. Well, the other
So
the
here we
main
go. This is getting
female
into it.
lead. Yeah, Maria. Her name is Diana Peñalve, and she's from Spain. And I find this. We missed it earlier, but the Spanish title of this movie translates to "Your mother ate my dog." Your mom ate my dog. That's Megan's favorite line in the
I
movie.
love that. I love
You can
that.
say that line really well.
I love that. I
Your
got that
mother ate
annoying
my
pitch in my voice. Yeah, I love that. Because she's so nonchalant about it. Like there's a woman literally, she's pulling like the fur of the dog out of her mouth, like a clown. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
"Your mom ate my dog," like just like that. Like, oh, it's the best.
Surprise.
Yeah,
It's the best.
surprise. I also wanted to say something else about the guy who plays Father MacGruber, but there's a different actor that plays Father MacGruber as a zombie. which is interesting. And so the guy who plays Father MacGruber as the zombie's name is Stephen Paps. And I thought this was kind of funny. After he did Dead Alive, he was in that movie, The Piano.
What?
Like a fucking Academy Best Picture Award movie. He did The Piano after he did Dead Alive.
Wow.
And he was like, I was a zombie priest. Now put me in this like Academy Award movie
Well, maybe he's a great actor.
with Harvey Keitel and naked people. That's all I remember from that movie.
And naked people.
That's all I remember from The Piano is Harvey Keitel and
Oh,
dogs.
so here's our friend. Here's our Hobbit friend again.
Yeah.
I love as he takes his ribcage
out.
out.
Give it back.
Yes. What a silly thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is actually
Here we go.
where
This is
everything starts to really, really get out of control.
Yeah,
pay close
Oh,
attention.
this part's amazing. When he rips his face off. Well, let's talk a little bit about Peter Jackson. So, his fucking birthday is Halloween, which is perfect for this episode.
Yeah, his birthday
Yeah,
is
so
coming
his
up in a couple
birthday
days.
is coming up. It's on Halloween. He was knighted in 2010. He received a Hollywood star in 2014, and his net worth is $600 million.
Thank
This
you,
man
Lord.
is
man.
worth $600 million.
And he's knighted. I think that's more impressive.
I know, like Patrick
What does
Stewart
it
is
take
knighted.
to be knighted?
An
An actor. You have to be an actor. I don't.
That's a good question.
Or a director. I mean, you know what?
Like your prowess.
Ian
has to
McKellen,
be relevant,
I get
guess.
it. Patrick Stewart, I get it.
Of course.
Like, I'm not.
Don't fuck with Patrick Stewart.
I'm not. You know.
My captain.
But yeah. Anyways, Sir Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This guy is Sir Peter Jackson. And he left school when he was 16 and worked for the Wellington paper for 7 years. And he lived with his parents in order to save up for a 16mm camera, which is what he used to shoot Bad Taste. While he was still working at the paper, so him and his friends like mostly shot Bad Taste on the weekends. All of the people in that movie were not paid. They were just his friends. They just did it for free. It's
Which
very
is
obvious.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's but I mean it still holds up. Like I mean it doesn't look really bad even
Yeah.
though he didn't
I
really
love
have
this.
any formal training at all in filmmaking and he just sort of learned about editing and special effects and makeup like sort of as he went along by trial and error. So
Yeah.
he didn't have a formal education at all, which is amazing because Lord of the Rings.
I know. And the
What?
New Zealand Film Commission helped finance Bad Taste. So it's kind of like New Zealand is probably a lot like Canada where you can apply for grants
Yeah. Right.
to get movies and like music videos made and all that. So that's pretty cool. And
Oh, I feel like y'all are really enjoying this right now. So,
oh my God, the part when he punches through that girl's face and then her face is still attached to his arm. I love that so much. And it's just like so clearly a dummy. I just love it.
So this doesn't stop for a while, and any possible way you can think to make blood, they do it. Anything. I mean, you just saw it. Someone had their little skeleton legs kicking around. That was so
Aw.
cute.
Love
It was so cute.
That's cute.
I know, it was cute.
Well, when Peter Jackson, after he did Bad Taste, he started writing scripts with like other collaborative like writers, and that's when he met Fran, his now girlfriend. That they're still together after all these years, and she has won a lot of Oscars as well, and
Oh.
she also actually worked on the Lord of the Rings movies, and she
Slapstick.
I know, right? Him and her have been together for like many, many years. And she wrote a lot of the music from the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies as well. So
That's
she,
gorgeous.
yeah, I know.
Gorgeous
and
music.
she actually so you know the Nazguls from Lord of the Rings, the guys with like the long black like shawls that are like searching for the hobbits like to get the
Yeah.
ring back. She contributed her voice to their sound. So the loud like shrieking
Yeah.
sound that's Fran Walsh's voice.
What? That's crazy.
I know. I thought that was pretty cool because the Nazguls are pretty evil. So I think it's adorable that they've been together for like 30, 40 years and they're not married. Like they have 2 kids. And
Marriage is a prison.
it's bullshit. And but one of the scripts that he wrote after Bad Taste was actually the sequel to Nightmare on Elm Street. But clearly it didn't get made. But then Dead Alive, out of all the scripts that he wrote, Dead Alive was the only one that actually got made into a movie. Hello, we have more friends coming in.
Hi, friends.
You want some beer? And I hear, you know what I hear? for our
Come sit in the front.
listeners at home that will be listening to this on the internet, we're just having people trickle in and out, and our friend just showed up from Black Fawn. I believe the
Have a
director
little
of
sip of
Bite
beer.
has never fucking seen Dead Alive.
Sit.
Oh, she just called you out.
Never seen Dead Alive. Well, you showed up at the most important part. I know,
pinnacle
he's like,
moment.
why did you tell her that? Damn it! This is going on the episode, by the way. Chad. Okay. So has anybody seen? I haven't. Meet the Feebles. You've seen Meet the Feebles, but you've never seen Dead Alive. Okay, I have never seen Meet the Feebles. It's a Peter Jackson movie, right? And but it's like puppets. But it's like racy. I don't know, like rated R
Is
or
it
something.
horror or is it sexy?
I don't know.
Sexy
Is
puppets?
it sexy?
Oh wow.
Well, I can only imagine. Interesting.
Is it puppets like what's that show about those puppets? And there's that barf scene, something about America.
Oh, like Team America.
Oh, Team America. Something about America.
Something about America.
Yeah, Team America. That was pretty good. Fuck yeah, America.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, okay, I remember that. But yeah, I guess I don't know. Maybe I'll watch Meet the Feebles. I don't know. It doesn't look very appealing to me. But there's another movie that Peter Jackson did called Heavenly Creatures, and it's actually based on like a true life story of two teenage girls that killed one of their moms. And Kate Winslet is in it, and she plays one of the teenage girls.
That was her
And
first role
That was
ever,
her first
actually,
role.
yeah.
And Fran Walsh actually was the one that convinced Peter to do that movie, and it also got nominated for an Academy Award for Best Screenwriter. But I haven't seen that. But he also produced District 9.
So good!
That movie is so good. Yeah, that movie's amazing. I fucking love District 9 so much.
good.
But it's just like, it's so funny. Like, I still can't get over the fact that, like, what is this? What is happening right now? There's, like, intestines. Like, it looks
They're
like the
chasing
Fly.
him.
This guy's in the fucking toilet. And this guy made Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, like... They actually, what I loved a lot about Lord of the Rings is they actually, like, the budgets for Lord of the Rings was only like $300 million, which isn't that much for three movies.
Oh, okay.
For three movies. But the worldwide box office is over $3 billion, which is insane. This span right
Nuts.
here.
Oh, speaking of numbers, we want to play the numbers game. I don't know. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, which friggin' sucks. Because we haven't even hit the scene. You guys think, who haven't seen this movie, you think you've seen the bloody scene? You haven't. So...
We're just going to keep playing. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
Well, we did start maybe 10 minutes late,
Yeah.
so we'll just keep going until somebody waves us off or brings that big hook.
They used 300 liters of fake blood in the final scene, not the whole movie. In the final scene. P.S. For everyone who's seen this movie, and my girls, I'm stuck on something, and my girls at the table, why the fuck did he include the scene about his mom killing his dad that has nothing to do with the movie, how she drowned his dad and his dad's girlfriend?
Yeah.
He keeps having these flashbacks of them drowning, and
Yeah.
then it is what am I stuck on?
You're
Claustrophobic! Yeah, I don't understand why they included that in the movie. I don't get
you're
what
right.
the
It is
fuck
kind of pointless.
The point of that
It is kind of pointless.
I guess
Anyways.
I agree.
he's trying to, build backstory, I guess, but it kind of doesn't. It doesn't,
It doesn't really matter
No.
in a movie like
well,
this.
no, because it's like, okay, so you find out that his
Baby
mom
blender.
actually was a crazy murderer, and
So missed opportunity. I really wish that baby did get blended. Like, fuck that baby, man. Like, he's just so annoying.
Full-grown adult running in a baby suit.
I know, right?
So obvious. How does the baby die? I don't.
And
remember.
I love that this guy gets
The gnome head?
Yeah,
it's like, hey.
that's awesome. Well, apparently, Peter Jackson wasn't actually supposed to direct the Hobbit movies. Guillermo del Toro was supposed to.
That-
it would have been perfect.
That
it
would
doesn't
have
matter.
been a
It doesn't
very
matter.
fascinating take on it, I think. I think he would have done a good job.
Yeah.
I don't know that there would be many other directors that I would say would make sense with that, but because of the fantasy element, but he definitely has that vision that takes that shit to the
You know what I
another
love
level.
about Peter Jackson as well is that he has a cameo in most of his movies. So he's like in almost all the Lord of the Rings movies, and he's in the Frighteners, the guy with the piercings.
What do you mean he's in Lord of the Rings?
He's in all the Lord of the Rings movies.
What do you
He just
mean?
has like there's one scene in Lord of the Rings where he's just like chomping on a carrot, and he's like. Yeah,
What?
like, dude, I'll show you. Like, Peter Jackson has a cameo in like all of his movies, but the ones in The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings are hilarious.
How have I missed him? I don't understand.
It's like literally like 3 seconds. But he's also this is kind of cool. He is in remember Hot Fuzz? He plays like at the very beginning of the movie. He's like the crazy Santa that stabs Simon Pegg in the hand. He's like, yeah, like, stabs him in the hand. And he actually Simon Pegg wrote a book, and in his book he stated that one of the main influences for making Shaun of the Dead was Dead Alive.
Interesting.
Speaking of quotes, Eli Roth is said to have said that Brain Dead was the only movie to quench his bloodlust.
That's cool.
And I mean, it was cool.
Too bad
Like,
he's
Eli
not
Roth was
bloodlusty
cool.
anymore.
Yeah, he fucking sucks.
He used to be cool.
Don't
What? Don't tell
anyone I
him
said that.
Speaking
be cool. It makes
Speaking
me
of
sad.
movies with like a lot of blood, Megan, what other ones? I know we were talking about this earlier. What other movies are there that are up there with the blood quotient?
My mind immediately went to Piranha, the remake of Piranha. Who's seen it?
Where Eli Roth gets his
Roth gets
face
fucked up.
ripped off from a propeller.
Yeah,
right?
that movie has so much blood. And then a movie I've only seen once because I motherfucking refused to watch it. I actually left the theater a few times because I literally was going to throw up. The remake of Evil Dead.
That's a good one.
So much fucking blood in it.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
like
the
not
end.
funny blood. Do you know? Like
Yeah.
this is funny blood. This is great. I can deal with it. That movie fucked me up.
That's
Oh,
a really,
God.
really, really good remake.
Yeah,
I
it was
guess.
definitely
I
a
don't
different,
remember.
a different take on it
Yeah.
because like the Evil Dead movies are like this, like they are
Campy and
slapstick.
silly,
They're
yeah.
in this same genre or whatever.
Well, we've got 5 minutes left, so while we're watching the end of this movie, we're going to talk about some other relative movies. And so zombie comedy up there for me is Evil Dead 2.
I'm
Of-
literally gonna.
And I
pee
just
my
met
pants.
Ted Ramy last night. I know. I was like, you're Henrietta. But fucking Evil Dead 2 has a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, that's fucking
That doesn't
crazy.
surprise me.
I
I think it's one of those movies that's like, I don't know, like it was a small movie when it came out.
It's
but, like,
important.
it's very important.
It is. I'm gonna pee.
It has.
So hot. I have to pee. We got 5
You
minutes.
gotta
pee because my pee.
She's unbuttoning her pants, everyone.
I know.
My belt's been on.
But did you know that Sam Raimi was actually asked to do the film adaptation of Thinner?
Was he?
Thinner.
But turned it down to work on Evil Dead 2.
Good choice.
And
Yeah.
so other notable zombie comedy, Return of the Living Dead.
Obviously,
Yes.
Bop, bop. Shaun of the Dead is fucking still hilarious. I still love that movie. It's so funny. Dead Snow 1 and 2, they're both awesome. The second one especially because they blow up a baby. Like, I'm sorry, but babies,
Yeah.
like babies need to be murdered more in movies. There's two things that horror movies are lacking is like baby murders and penises. We need to see
Yeah,
more
more
dicks
dicks,
in
Too many
movies.
boobs. Too many boobs. Not
Too many
enough
boobs,
dicks.
not enough dicks.
Yep.
We're talking to you.
A movie called Night of the Virgin,
Night of the Virgin.
Spain, and it's like one of the bloodiest movies. You'll love it.
Oh, okay.
Will I love it or will I want to throw up?
You guys will love it.
Excellent.
Okay. I also want to say, only because I just rewatched it, was Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, yeah.
The zombie family is who they choose to come kill them, right?
Yeah.
That family. So they're zombies, and it's hilarious.
slapstick. Yeah. The fucking merman.
Yeah.
That shit is
It's
hilarious.
the best. It's the best. I
and
just
I love that the
love that
guy
movie.
that the merman kills, isn't it like Eric from Billy Madison?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And the other guy in it is the dad from Step
Fucking
Brothers.
Step Brothers, I
He's
know.
the best.
Doback.
Who knows his name? Oh, I need to
Doback.
know his
It's
name.
just Doback. Well, slapstick horror, like definitely demons.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's like I don't know. It's not meant to be funny, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Pieces is hilarious in my opinion. Like Pieces, like that. You guys haven't seen it yet.
No, I haven't seen
Oh
it.
my god, the dialogue in Pieces is so bad. It's amazing. Basket Case.
Oh, yeah, Basket Case definitely I think can fall under that category. It's not like it's slapstick horror. It's not obviously zombies or whatever. But again, these zombies could be debatable
Die.
because they're not like the typical like Romero like slow kind of zombies. Like they're running and they're fucking and they're doing all kinds of weird things.
They keep dying and keep coming back.
I know.
too.
You can't just like get them in the head and then
Yeah.
they're gone. One more movie I wanted to mention:
thing on?
Night of the Creeps.
Night of the Creeps.
Tom
Tom Atkins!
He's here.
I know.
In the flesh.
I know. I can't
love
wait
it.
to meet him. I don't know what I'm gonna like say.
Oh, here it is! You guys, we get
this
to
is the
see
best
it!
part. This
Yes!
is the lawnmower scene. So this is the part where they also like speaking of this movie being like the bloodiest movie ever made, they used like 80 gallons or 300 like
300 liters. And
liters.
this scene, they shoot out 5 gallons of blood per second.
That's
in this
insane.
Scene.
Like that is fucking awesome.
That is something to strive for sure. That's some motivation if you're making
I wonder
a
if
film.
I wonder if that's what he was
Ahem.
going for. Like if he was like, I would like to make the bloodiest film of all time,
That's
or if
a
he was
good
just
question.
like, I just want to make this so absurd and over the top, and he just wasn't. He just didn't know what he was doing, and
I
inadvertently
sometimes
made the most
wonder
bloody
if
movie of all
like he
time.
ever goes back and watches this and be like, I made the Lord of the Rings movie and I'm gonna sit here and watch fucking Dead
Yeah.
Alive.
This guy,
He probably sits on a
kicking his
pile
head
of
around.
money.
I know, right? Watching Dead Alive.
He probably just smokes weed on his pile of money and
I know,
watches
right?
this
Watching
movie.
it. Watching
rolls
Dead
joints
Alive.
with like hundreds, and he's like, just like
Life is so good.
I know.
Dead Alive.
Well, some other newer movies that have come out in the past like 10 years that I consider like really good slapstick horror movies. I thought Deathgasm was so fucking entertaining. There's a dildo fight. Like, if you haven't seen Deathgasm, I highly recommend it. I think that there's just like, and everything about Human Centipede is hilarious.
Except for the third installment, which
Yeah, no,
blows
we're just not
chunks.
even going to talk about that. Feast.
Oh, Feast is so
Feast.
good.
That was actually
Feast
no,
is
that's a
very,
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 very
He blows
slapstick,
loads
very
all over the
gory.
place.
Fucking Clue, Gulager.
Yeah,
my
hi-
God.
Clue Gulager and his
Clue,
Gulager's
Clue,
son.
Clue.
His son was the one that directed that movie.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about
I
that.
can't remember what his first name is. but-
Turbo Kid. The gore in Turbo Kid it just reminds me of the gore in Dead Alive. Like it's so funny and just absurd. Like remember the bodies that were like stacking on top of each other?
Yes.
You're lying.
I have to pee.
Megan's out.
I can't live it. I'm wearing a bodysuit, so I gotta snap. Girls know, like, I gotta do the snaps after this. And, like, fuck, it's a process.
Okay, Cabin in the Woods, Slither.
Slither. Michael Rooker.
Hey, girl, Michael Rooker.
Oh,
We have,
Megan's
we have some
boyfriend.
good Michael Rooker stories. We were actually reminiscing.
We were out of
about
time.
Being
When
here.
we were here and we met Michael Rooker. He is a fantastic human being.
Yeah, he really is.
And I have to bring up Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That movie was so fucking gory and so fucking funny. And I just have one more. When it comes to slapstick horror, not necessarily gore, but personally, I think one of the funniest horror movies that has come out since Shaun of the Dead was What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, that is a fabulous movie.
That movie was brilliant.
I thought you were gonna say The Greasy Strangler.
Oh, yes, of course, The Greasy Strangler. That movie is hilarious. I need to buy it. If somebody has it for sale at Frightmare in the Falls, I will buy it because I need to see that Wang flopping around again in the car wash.
The noise.
How do you end this? How do you end this
I know.
episode? How do we
I
end
know. Well,
this?
we're at the very end of the movie now, and the lawnmower is still going, and I think like Vera, the mom, is probably gonna appear soon, where she's got like a giant butt.
Unfortunately, yeah, I think we still have like 15 minutes of the movie, which we won't get to watch, which really sucks.
Look at all that blood spewing everywhere, though.
But it's funny. I'm not scared.
You're like, fuck you, Evil Dead remake for making me scared.
Yeah, you know, I love the theater.
Yeah. Well, I hope everybody is having fun at the convention. There's a guy walking around with like creepy ass fuck eyeballs that scared the shit out of Megan
Who
earlier.
saw him? He's wearing like a cloak and a
He's
mask,
not talking.
and he's got eyeballs, like big old eyeballs.
Like psychotic look
Who?
on his face. Like
You guys want to know something? No one else has seen him. What if?
oh my god, it's a figment of
Thank you so much for waiting because we know that there was a 10-minute delay. You guys were all so patient and the best fans in the world.
Megan's out.
really
Megan's out. She's out. She's out.
don't
She's
really
got a
have time.
bodysuit. Y'all girls understand. So bye.
You know what? You know what's a fun
We're
aspect
lax.
of all of that is like when we are recording. Like I know we edit everything down, but like you don't know how many times we literally get up to piss. It's like I gotta
Well,
pee.
because we're drinking beer and shit, right? So, is there anything you want to add, Morgan?
No. Dead Alive is a fabulous movie. To me, this is like one of my more nostalgic like teenage like sleepover movies. I
Yeah.
don't know. I guess I was just a demented child, but
In the best way, though.
yeah, absolutely. Like to me, this like I've seen this movie more times than I probably should have. So many great lines, and I can't believe that Peter Jackson actually did Lord of the Rings.
I still find it hilarious. I find it awesome. Okay, well, you guys enjoy the rest of the weekend. We have to get the fuck out to get our photo with Tom Atkins. So come talk to us. We'll be walking around. We're doing a panel at 5 o'clock about horror podcasting with 2 other podcasts from My Parents' Basement and Faculty of Horror. And okay, thanks for coming. We're gonna go meet Tom Atkins now.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming, guys. Thank you
thank
very
you.
much. Have a good weekend.